Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, now here I am with another retro wrestling show review. Because I figured, since I reviewed Vengeance 2003, which was one of SmackDown's best pay-per-views ever, I decided that I wanted to review one of Raw's best pay-per-views also. Because, yeah, Raw has had some great pay-per-views themselves, too, especially, like, in the 2004-2005 period. Like, yeah, that was really when Raw was really just really great during that time. Like, yeah, that Raw during that period, that was Raw's best period of the original brand extension. Yeah. So, yeah, I was looking through, like, what really are Raw's best pay-per-views, and the best Raw pay-per-view of all time is arguably, like, Vengeance 2005. I mean, yeah, Wondrick has said that that is, like, the best Raw exclusive pay-per-view of all time. But, yeah, I really didn't want to look over that show because I didn't really want to take a look, review another Vengeance show. I wanted to review something else. So I was looking through some other, or, like, some of Raw's best pay-per-views during that period. And one that I really did think of was Backlash 2004. So, yeah, I decided to take a look at that show, and yeah, that's what I'm going to be reviewing in this video. And yeah, Backlash 2004, yeah, this was like a really, really good, maybe even great show. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this match really, no, this show is mainly like set around like two matches on the show, and yeah, that's really what you got here. Like, this show really was like a two-match show, and yeah, both of those matches were great. And the undercard overall, I mean, the undercard really, nothing really is that memorable about the undercard, but yeah, it's really not like, yeah, the undercard isn't really like all that good, but I mean, I guess it could have been worse. But yeah, two great matches on the show, and yeah, both like really did deliver as well as they could, I would say. Yeah, I think like two really like classic matches, and yeah, both matches were just really great. I think that really does say enough to really make this show really like a great show. It's really like WrestleMania 10. How that show really was like really set around two matches, and yeah, both matches were really great, and yeah, that's real. And yeah, it really did make WrestleMania 10 a great show overall. That's kind of, but with the rest of the show, it really was not that great. Yeah, that's kind of the case here too. Like, not really like two really great matches, and the rest of the show, it was like not really like anything that great. But yeah, yeah, like it still did have like two really great matches on it, and yeah, I really say it is enough to really like call the show great. Because yeah, this was just like a really great show overall, mainly to those two matches. But yeah, even then, like a lot of the undercard on the show, like there's not really anything that great, but there are like a couple of other enjoyable matches on the show. So yeah, I still say like two great matches and a couple other enjoyable matches overall. That it really can call this a great show. So yeah, let me just go right through the card. I'm probably just gonna zoom through most of the card real alright as quick as I can, and just because yeah, I'm really just mainly gonna talk about the two great matches on the show. Yeah, like the two matches the show is really known for. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna skim through the undercard really quickly. Alright, but yeah, let me just go right through the card. Alright, so the show kicked off with Shelton Benjamin versus Ric Flair. And yeah, this overall, I'd say this was like a decent match. Yeah, I mean, it's really like, yeah, not really anything like classic about this match, but I'd say it was decent. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this was like right when after Shelton Benjamin was drafted to Raw, and they were really building up Shelton Benjamin really good. Like Shelton Benjamin had a couple of wins over Triple H on Raw, and yeah, throughout the year, like they were just really building up Shelton Benjamin really good. Like they were just like really building him as a rising star. Like Shelton Benjamin just was like really being built well with all these wins he was getting over people like Triple H and Ric Flair and stuff, and yeah, even like towards the end of the year, he became the Intercontinental Champion and had like that lengthy reign with it, which was a really good reign. So yeah, I mean, 2004 was a really good year for Shelton Benjamin, and yeah, this was like a decent match. I mean, yeah, yeah, this was like when Ric Flair was like in his mid 50s. So yeah, Ric Flair, like, despite his age, like Ric Flair was still like able to like go at a pretty good level with young athletes like Shelton Benjamin here. And yeah, they had a decent match here. I mean, yeah, you had like Shelton Benjamin like kind of like countering the figure four a couple of times in this match, and yeah, it was just kind of like back and forth for a while. I mean, it was decent, nothing like anything too memorable about it, but it was a decent match right here. And yeah, around the finish, I'm not sure if like the finish was like messed up or something, because yeah, it showed like Ric Flair had some like brass knucks in his hand, but then like Shelton Benjamin like jumped Ric Flair from behind and Ric Flair dropped the knucks. I'm not sure if that was really supposed to happen or not, and it just seemed like they were kind of confused during this ending. And yeah, Shelton Benjamin just like hit like a moonsault on Ric Flair or something, and yeah, he just got the pin. So yeah, it was just kind of like a really like strange ending. It was like, I don't know if it was like messed up and they were just like doing some improv there, but yeah, regardless, yeah, Shelton Benjamin got the win in this match, and yeah, it was a decent match. I would give this probably, I don't know, 2.5 stars. And then next up, we had Coach versus Tajiri. Oh gosh, why did they have Coach competing here, and why was WWE really so intent on like having Coach compete all these times in like 2002? I mean, not 2002, but 2003 and 2004. Like, Coach was just in like some like matches like on Raw and on pay-per-views during this time, and really just Coach really was just like, he really wasn't even that good of a competitor. I mean, he was a announcer. Like, why did they have him constantly compete here? And why is he facing Tajiri on pay-per-view here? But yeah, this really was not good. I mean, this only lasted like 6 minutes. Thankfully, it wasn't that long. Not really anything happened here. It was just like Tajiri mostly like going after Coach and stuff. And then at one point when it looked like Tajiri had the match won, Garrison Cade then just ended up like coming out, and he just ended up like nailing Tajiri, and then Coach just rolled up Tajiri and got the pin. So Coach really won this match. Oh man, it was just really dumb, and yeah, just dumb to have Coach wrestle here. I give this like a star and a half. And then next up was Christian and Trish Stratus versus Chris Jericho in a handicap match, and yeah, this was a really good match right here. I mean, yeah, I really did enjoy this. Yeah, now this was a good way to like just continue on with the storyline, and after like Trish turned on Chris Jericho at WrestleMania and aligned with Christian. And yeah, did like that they made this a handicap match into like a rematch with Chris Jericho and Christian, with Trish in Christian's corner and stuff, like trying to just cheap shot Jericho a bunch of times at ringside. Yeah, I'm glad that they actually made this a handicap match with Trish in the match here. And yeah, this was enjoyable. Yeah, I mean, it was mostly really just Christian and Chris Jericho going at it, but then there were times when Chris Jericho was like down, when Trish got tagged in, and just to like cheap shot Chris Jericho and just try humiliating him more. And there was a point in this match where Trish then got tagged in and she was going to try to pin Chris Jericho to win the match, but Chris Jericho kicked out. Yeah. And, yeah, and eventually in this match, like, Chris Jericho did actually, like, nail Trish a few times. Like, he actually, like, blatantly clotheslined her. And then he, like, put her in the walls with Jericho very briefly and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. And then, like, once, like, Chris Jericho was, like, distracted with Trish at one point, like, Christian then he hit an unprettier on Chris Jericho, but Chris Jericho survived it. And then at one point, like, Christian tried to get a Texas Cloverleaf on Chris Jericho, but then Chris Jericho ended up countering it, and he tried to go for the Walls of Jericho on Christian, but then he just ended up catapulting Trish right into Trish, and then then Chris Jericho just like hit like a shining wizard onto Christian and then got the pin. So yeah, Chris Jericho got the win here. So yeah, this was an enjoyable match. I would give this probably 3.5 stars. And then next up, we had the women's title on the line. Victoria defending against Lita. And for a women's match, I think that this was pretty good. I mean, yeah, we'd had, like, there was good, like, in-ring work from both Victoria and Lita here. Yeah, they did, like, do pretty good in this match. And, yeah, there were, like, some good counters in here. Like, at one point, like, Victoria tried to go for a moonsault onto Lita, but Lita, like, moved out of the way, and, like, but I don't think she, like, got out of the way completely, and, like Victoria, like, just only hit Lita's legs or something. Yeah. And then, yeah, it was just, like, good back and forth action. Like, at one point, Victoria hit, like, that surfboard maneuver on Lita, which was, like, interesting to see women do that. And, yeah, this basically just, like, lasted 7 minutes. I felt it did what it needed to, and then, yeah, in the end, Victoria got the win. Yeah. And then after the match, like, Gail, Kim, and Molly Holly just ran out, and then they attacked both Victoria and Lita. So, yeah. But, yeah, good match, I say. I would give it probably 3 stars. And then next up, we had the hardcore match for the Intercontinental title. Randy Orton defending against Mick Foley, or Cactus Jack, if that's what you want to call him, because yeah, Mick Foley was kind of like wrestling this match in his Cactus Jack attire and acting as Cactus Jack and stuff. So yeah, I guess like it's technically Cactus Jack. And yeah, let me just say, this match, this just shows like how much WWE has really changed today. Because you would never see the brutality of this match in today's day and age. I mean, you just wouldn't see this type of violence in the WWE now. That just shows how much WWE has changed today. And yeah, this was just a great match here. I mean, yeah, this was just like, this just showed like how much Randy Orton was being built up that year. Just 2004, just like Shelton Benjamin, this was just like the year Randy Orton was being built as the top star. Just, yeah, Randy Orton just like was being put over constantly, and then yeah, with this Intercontinental title reign, and then eventually becoming the world champion. Yeah, this just showed like Randy Orton was just being built up like so well in the year. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you just had a lot of weapon use in this match. Like, Mick Foley, of course, was using Barbie in the match. And yeah, he was just, like, beating Randy Orton with it. And Randy Orton was then just, like, bleeding eventually. Yeah. And yeah, Mick Foley was just, like, knocking the crap out of Randy Orton in this match. Just beating him down so badly. Yeah. And then there was one point where Mick Foley was actually going to set Barbie on fire. But as he was, like... As he was about to light it on fire, Eric Bischoff then came out and just told Mick Foley that if he does that, like, the show would just be shut down and stuff. So then, yeah, Mick Foley just ended up dropping Barbie and just using a bunch of other weapons on Randy Orton. Randy, like he was using, like, cookie sheets and trash cans on Randy Orton. Then Mick Foley got, like, this bed of barbed wire. Then he was gonna, like, throw Randy Orton on that, but then Randy Orton threw powder in Mick Foley's eyes and just threw Mick Foley onto the bed of barbed wire. And then he Irish whipped Mick Foley into the corner with the barbed wire bed. Yeah. And then eventually just Randy Orton, like, poured out a bunch of thumbtacks out of the bag, and he was going to go for an RKO on Mick Foley, but Mick Foley threw Randy Orton down, and Randy Orton went back first into the thumbtacks. Yeah, and you just saw, like, there were a bunch of thumbtacks in, like, Randy Orton's back, his arms, his hand, just, yeah, Randy Orton was just covered in the thumbtacks. Just, yeah, this just showed, like, how much Randy Orton was really doing at the time and what he was really going through. So, yeah, Randy Orton really did, like, deserve the push he did, because, yeah, after he went through stuff like this, I mean, yeah, he truly did deserve everything that all of his like big push that year. And Randy Orton then eventually tried to run off, but then Mick Foley caught him, and then he just threw Randy Orton off of the staging, and then Mick Foley just jumped down onto Randy Orton, and Randy Orton actually kicked out of that. I mean, just, yeah, it seemed, yeah, that just showed how tough Randy Orton really was. Just Randy Orton just kept surviving everything Mick Foley was putting him through. Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, Randy Orton eventually then just hit Mick Foley with Barbie again. But then Mick Foley eventually got the mandible claw in on Randy Orton. But then Randy Orton then just got an RKO on Mick Foley, but Mick Foley survived it. And then Randy Orton just then RKO Mick Foley onto Barbie and then got the pin, and Randy Orton won and retained. So yeah, this was just just a absolutely amazing match right here. Yeah, this just shows like this is the way to build up credible heels, right? Yeah, and at the time I was like kind of upset that Randy Orton defeated Mick Foley 2 pay-per-views in a row, but I mean, looking at it now, I mean, it does show like this was just like WWE really building up Randy Orton as a future star, and yeah, it just showed like his build up being a top star would continue throughout the year to him winning the title, but then yeah, it would get messed up when he would lose to Triple H at Unforgiven. But yeah, this was still him being built up properly, and yeah, this is still probably to this day still probably the best match of Randy Orton's career. This was just a phenomenal match. I definitely give this 4.5 stars. Just an awesome match. Yeah, and then next up was just, yeah, we had La Resistance versus Hurricane and Rosey. Yeah, this really wasn't anything. I mean, this was just kind of just used as a buffer match. I mean, not very good. Just the two teams were just fighting with each other for about 5 minutes, and then just showing like Eugene was coming out to like screw around. This was just like when Eugene just came to the WWE and stuff, and so yeah, really nothing happened here. But yeah, Hurricane and Rosey just ended up winning this match. So yeah, not really anything to talk about with that, and yeah, really not much of a match. Like 1 star. And then next up we had Kane versus Edge. And this really wasn't anything too bright either. I mean, yeah, this basically just went off for like 6.5 minutes. It was just them going at it with each other. It wasn't really very interesting. Really, can't really remember anything about this match. It was just like, Edge had his hand in a cast, and if the referee caught Edge using it in the match, he would be suspended and stuff. So, yeah, it was basically like Edge just wrestling this match with one arm and stuff. And then, at one point when the referee like was outside the ring, Edge then hit Kane with the cast while the referee wasn't looking, and then yeah, Edge then eventually ended up like pinning Kane and getting the win. So yeah, really like nothing very special about it. Give it like a 1.5 stars. And then we got the main event, which was the triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Chris Benoit defending against Triple H and Shawn Michaels in the WrestleMania 20 rematch. And, yeah, before I actually talk about this match, just the atmosphere for this match was absolutely amazing, because, yeah, this, of course, like, this event was in Chris Benoit's hometown of Edmonton, Canada, so, of course, like, the crowd was absolutely behind Benoit, and since, like, this match was also in Alberta, Canada, like, the crowd was, like, completely negative on Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels just got so much hate from the crowd here. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, just like an amazing atmosphere for this match. And yeah, and while it's really not, I don't think this is as quite as good as the WrestleMania 20 match. Was still like pretty great. Like yeah, this was just like kind of feeling like going the same way as the WrestleMania 20 match, where like all 3 guys got in like enough offense here. Like all 3 guys really looked good in this match. Actually, yeah, and yeah, it was like showing like at times like there was like one guy that would like get like just knocked out of the ring, and then like the 2 other guys would go at it inside of the ring. Yeah, and like I said, in this match, like the crowd was just like completely negative on Shawn Michaels here. Like Shawn Michaels just got so much heat on this night, and yeah, and especially like when Shawn Michaels would like go after Chris Benoit. The crowd just absolutely hated him. And then, like, at one point, like, they did, like, try to play off, like, what happened in the Montreal Screwjob. Chris Benoit was, like, trying the sharpshooter on Shawn Michaels, but then Shawn Michaels got the sharpshooter in on Chris Benoit. When the referee was out, Mike Chioda was, like, the referee when this match started, but then he got knocked out, and then it showed then Earl Hebner then coming out to officiate the match. And yeah, then the crowd just like exploded with heat. Like they just like started the "You Screwed Bread" chants to both Shawn Michaels and Earl Hebner. Yeah. Yeah, just like yeah, just this atmosphere from the crowd was just amazing. Yeah, but yeah, Chris Benoit like ended up like not tapping out, of course, and then yeah, all three guys just continued to brawl with each other. At one point, as Chris Benoit and Triple H were on the outside of the ring, Shawn Michaels tried to fly from the top turnbuckle outside onto them, but then Chris Benoit and Triple H moved out of the way, and Shawn Michaels just went through the announce table. And then Shawn Michaels was just like out of it for a little while. And yeah, it just basically like was turning into Chris Benoit versus Triple H, and they continued to go at it with each other. Yeah. Yeah, Chris Benoit like hit the crossface on Triple H a couple of times, trying to play off the WrestleMania match. Yeah, and the crowd was like chanting like they were like chanting, of course, "You Screwed Bread" to Earl Hebner and Shawn Michaels, and they also were like chanting "You Tapped Out" to Triple H. Yeah, yeah, and then like at one point in this match, then when Shawn Michaels like recovered, then Triple H just nailed Shawn Michaels with the sledgehammer, and yeah, there was no disqualification call here. They never actually said if this was a no disqualification match at all, but yeah, I guess like just yeah, I just really don't know what to say about that. But yeah, the referee for some reason didn't call for the bell when Triple H hit Shawn Michaels with the sledgehammer. Yeah. Yep. And then yeah, at one point like when Triple H like pulled Chris Benoit outside of the ring, and Triple H tried to pedigree Chris Benoit on the steel steps, but then Chris Benoit countered it and just catapulted Triple H into the ring post, and then yeah, that just made Triple H wobbly, and he just fell over the barricade. Yeah. And yeah, Chris Benoit and Shawn Michaels were just then going at it, but then Chris Benoit got Shawn Michaels in the sharpshooter, and then yeah, Shawn Michaels was trying to fight, not to tap out, and yeah, the crowd of course was just went nuts when Chris Benoit had Shawn Michaels in the sharpshooter. Yeah. And yeah, Chris Benoit was pulling Shawn Michaels away from the ropes, and then yeah, Triple H was starting to come around, and yeah, Triple H was then just slowly getting back into the ring, and then eventually Shawn Michaels then tapped out, and then yeah, Chris Benoit won and retained the title, and then yeah, and then just showed Chris Benoit celebrating, and then yeah, of course like it was Chris Benoit's hometown. It showed like Chris Benoit's family was there in the front row watching also. And at one point, you actually do see like Chris Benoit's wife Nancy along holding their son Daniel. And yeah, just looking at this now, it just really does make me think of it, because yeah, it's just a couple of days ago. It has marked 10 years since the incident of what happened with the three of them. So yeah, I mean, I just can't believe that it's now been 10 years since that tragedy. And yeah, I mean, it's just like it's great seeing like Chris Benoit still like celebrating like this after his win here. But yeah, after like knowing what happened to them, like I just really don't know what to think of Chris Benoit now. I mean, I really like did enjoy watching him wrestle, but knowing what he did, I just don't know what to think of him anymore. But yeah, this was still a great match. Actually, I give this 4.5 stars as well. So, yeah, overall the show, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, you had like two really phenomenal matches with Randy Orton and Mick Foley, and the main event, the triple threat match. Yeah, they were phenomenal matches, and really did steal the show, really. Yeah, the undercard overall, really not too great, but yeah, a couple of other enjoyable matches, like the handicap match and the women's title match. So, yeah. So yeah, two great matches and two other enjoyable matches on the undercard. Yeah, it really does like make this a great show. Oh, so yeah, if you haven't seen the show yet, I would definitely recommend it, especially like with the two phenomenal matches. Like definitely watch those two matches. Alright, so that does it for my review of Backlash 2004. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.